July 10th, 2009 was the worst day in the life of Jim Clark. It was the day he had to watch staff at the Pattaya Water Park drag the corpse of his 14-year-old son Nathan from the water pump room below the pool next to the park's hotel where he and his two sons and their stepmother were staying for a vacation. They were supposed to soon head to India, where Jim had just got a new job at the international tunnel construction company Robbins in New Delhi. As a father, Jim kept high hopes for more than an hour since his beloved son Nathan disappeared below the pool. He wanted to believe that Nathan was still alive and somehow merely stuck and waiting for rescue. When the engineers finally managed to drag Nathan's lifeless body out of the pool pump system, only one word came out of Jim. It was a very loud, long scream by a father who had just lost part of his soul. He simply screamed, "No." The death of Nathan Clark at the Pattaya Water Park could have been prevented if the lifeguards and other staff at the park bothered to rush to the scene as soon as they were alerted that something had gone wrong. But for some reason, they didn't believe that Nathan managed to get into the pool's pump pipe system because it was supposed to be locked. For a whole hour, the Clarks had to run around the park, trying to get someone's attention, but got ignored because of the arrogance and straight-up idiocy of the staff and lifeguards. The Clarks had to live a hellish nightmare for a whole hour in the middle of a resort full of happiness and joy. It all ended in heartbreak and terror. Stay tuned, because the story of Nathan Clark's death at the Pattaya Water Park in Thailand is not just heartbreaking, but something that will make you mad. The Clarks loved Thailand and loved the fact that they moved to India. After all, they did come from the rather dull, cold, and fun-lacking Isle of Man, a self-governing British Crown dependency in the Irish Sea between England and Ireland, known for its rugged coastline, medieval castles, and rural landscape. When the father, Jim Clark, received a job offer to work as chief engineer on a major project in India, he couldn't say no. So he decided it would be fun to go on a vacation in Thailand for a while, choosing to stay at the Pattaya resort, which included hotels and a water theme park, was a natural thing. After all, Jim Clark was also married to a Thai woman named Kate, who became his two sons' stepmother. The boys liked her and her son Kevin, and also loved her homeland, Thailand. Friday, July 10th, was a great day for hitting the pools and the many water slides across the park. It was a hot, beautiful day. Nathan and his brother Reese decided to head to the shallow pool, which features a whirlpool. It was fun and they didn't complain. They also took their stepbrother Kevin with them. However, at some point, Nathan dropped his goggles while diving in the pool. His goggles fell through the gaps of the grill covering one of the pool's water pipes that leads to the pumps below. Unfortunately, Nathan didn't like swimming and diving without his goggles and decided that retrieving them is worth the attempt. Nathan looked at his brother and told him that he would dive to the bottom of the pool, open the grill, and go down to look for his goggles. To Nathan's bad luck, the grill wasn't locked, and he didn't struggle in opening it. Nathan headed down. It was the last time he was seen alive. When a minute passed, his brother Reese began to worry and decided to get help. He immediately shouted to his father, who was nearby. Nathan's father rushed towards Reese, asked him what happened, and immediately dived towards the open grill in a desperate manner to attempt to locate his son. But Nathan was nowhere to be seen. The stepmother Kate and Reese went to alert the lifeguards and staff. However, for some yet-to-be-understood reason, the staff thought that the two were joking around and not serious. Later, Reese said in a blog that when he initially told staff what had happened, they didn't believe him. The lifeguard said we shouldn't play jokes like this and dismissed us. My stepmom was begging them to check the pipes. They argued back, saying it was impossible as the grill was locked. After a full 30 minutes, they agreed to check the pipes. While they were checking, I went to the ticket booth to make an announcement as to whether anyone had seen him. I was coming down the stairs to the main pool when I heard my father shout, "No," very loudly, and then my stepmother screamed. The Clark's family whole ordeal was just angering. How on earth could lifeguards and staff in a water theme park packed with children ignore desperate calls for help by a child and his parents? It was a disaster, and soon the media arrived. Jim wished that the staff and lifeguards at the park were as fast as the media in responding to an emergency. Nevertheless, the media crews that arrived were also just as ignorant as the lifeguards and staff at the resort. They just wanted to get shots of Nathan's dead body, as if it was a movie. They simply showed no respect to the devastated family. Jim Clark even hit out at a Thai cameraman after he tried to film his son's body on the floor of the pump room. Thai police later ordered him to pay about $300 in compensation to the cameraman. It was truly a strange disaster that baffles the mind, because Jim literally had to angrily drag the lifeguards and staff to the incident scene. He had to yell and scream to merely have them open the engineering room where the water pump is located to look out for his son Nathan. When finally Jim forced the park's obtuse staff and engineers to do something, they went to the pump room, opened a hatch, and his son's lifeless body came out. According to investigators, when Nathan opened the grill and partially dived headfirst into the pipe below, he was sucked by the sheer power of the pump below. They further elaborated that the lifeguards and staff didn't understand what Reese and his father Jim were saying when they called for help. They simply described the incident as just that, an unfortunate incident where language barriers played a role in miscommunication and delay in rescue. However, according to the same reports by investigators, when Reese asked the lifeguards for help in English, his stepbrother Kevin was translating, and the guards did understand what was being said, because they literally responded that the grill was locked and impossible to open. This also begged a major question: how on earth are the lifeguards and staff of a tourist resort full of tourists so incompetent in speaking English? The water park soon offered the family compensation. It only made the Clarks even more heartbroken and angry. Forensic police later examined the scene. They concluded that the grill wasn't locked or secure. Using a man of similar height and weight to Nathan, a reenactment was conducted. The grill, which weighs 21 kilograms, was checked to see if a single person would be able to lift it, and it was found that it could have been easily lifted off by the boy. Tests were also conducted with the engine turned on to see if the boy could have been sucked in through a pipe leading to the engine compartment, which measures 40 square centimeters. It was determined by the police that this could not have happened. A corroded pipe inside the engine room was identified as an object which may have killed the boy as he entered the engine room. However, this could not be confirmed. Even the investigation report was messy and unclear. The Pattaya Park owners accepted the responsibility for the accident, although to this day, there are many questions regarding the incident that remain unanswered. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell button to get notified every time we upload a new video that will take you to the heart of the scenes and mysteries of some of the most terrifying incidents, accidents, disasters, and paranormal events from around the world.